So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. So guys, yesterday I was going to do a review of Casimero Rigondeaux, but unfortunately I got tired and I fell asleep. But to be honest with you, I was thinking to myself, what am I doing a review about? Because that was absolutely dreadful. Dreadful. You had one guy running from side to side. You had another guy chasing him. You know what? I said something about Rigondeaux a month ago or so, that I feel sorry for Rigondeaux. You know, that Rigondeaux, he's a guy that's been left, he's been treated. The politics of boxing has probably stopped Rigondeaux, becoming the big star and getting the credit for his boxing skills. He gets an opportunity very late on. Look, he's I don't know how old he is. However old he is, I don't know. I don't know. But when you come on TV and you're on a high platform, you're on such a high stage like he was yesterday, when there's so many eyes on you, you're topping a Showtime card, and then you put in a performance like that, where you're running from, literally going from side to side, it was embarrassing. And Casimero, although, listen, Casimero did all he could, but Casimero wasn't cutting off the ring. He showed, it was dreadful both ways. Whenever there's a guy doing what Rigondeaux was doing, you got to cut off the ring. You got to be more purposeful. Unfortunately, Casimero's performance wasn't great either. But at least Casimero wanted a fight. Rigondeaux, unfortunately, didn't want to engage. And he just made the fight dreadful. And now I understand that why TV networks don't want to put Rigondeaux on, because you can have all the skill in the world, you can have all the talent in the world. The fact of the matter is, TV companies, they want to make money, man. And fights like that don't make them money. By putting on a fight like that, who's that pleasing? Who are you pleasing? Because that even the purists, the guys that like to watch, there's a lot of people that critique Floyd, but there's the purists love watching Floyd. But what Rigondeaux did yesterday, even the purists don't like that, because that's terrible. He was running from side to side. I didn't understand what he was doing. He wasn't even very active. He wasn't even throwing a lot of punches. That was terrible, guys. And I've been a guy that, excuse me. Sorry, guys. Oh, sorry, guys. I've been somebody that has stood up for Rigondeaux and said, you know what, Rigondeaux, he deserves more credit. His name deserves to be out there. But after watching that, I understand why the TV companies don't want to put him on. I understand. That's it for me now, for Rigondeaux. Because who's going to put him on again after watching that? Who's going to give him that kind of platform again after watching that? The fans were booing. The fans weren't happy. It wasn't great. And in boxing, yes, I get all the skill and the talent and boxing and moving. I get all of that. But you have to be entertaining of some sort. You've got to realize Mayweather was able to do what he was able to do, but Mayweather was also very entertaining outside the ring, which drew a lot of people in. Rigondeaux doesn't have that. Rigondeaux's not a trash talker. Rigondeaux's not, attracting boxing fans to his fights because he's trash talking, he's getting people hyped up. No, he's just expecting people to turn up and him doing his thing by going from side to that. To be honest, I think he's definitely regressed, because when he fought Nonito Donaire, that was a war. That was a great fight. So he's definitely regressed, but he's never been a TV-friendly fighter. Never. He's never been that guy. But at least he was a little bit more engaging when he was a bit younger. We saw that in the Donaire fight. He put Donaire down. I'm pretty sure, did Donaire put Rigondeaux down? I think Donaire put Rigondeaux down as well. That was a good fight. But apart from that, his fights have been dreadful. When he fought against Lomachenko, and I know that, again, Lomachenko was just too big for him, and he should have never been in there with Lomachenko. But the fact of the matter is, whenever he's kind of fought on a high platform, he's looked dreadful. You know, he's not looked great, apart from the Donaire fight. And this yesterday, for me, this was the tipping of the iceberg where that's it. That's it. That's it. I just don't think any TV company is going to want to put him on again. And to be honest with you, you know, I think rewarding Casimero that fight was probably fair because of the fact that I think even if Rigondeaux did win, for example, I don't think they would have given, because at the end of the day, right, when you're watching that, how Rigondeaux winning that fight, is that going to be good for the sport of boxing? Like, do you really want to see Rigondeaux v. Inoue? Do you really want to see Rigondeaux v. Donaire? I don't want to see any of that. You know, I want to see Casimero Inoue because that's going to be a fight. I want to see Casimero Donaire because that's going to be a fight. I'm not interested in Rigondeaux with any of those guys, and I was before. But after watching that, I just think he's gonna make it hard for them as well. He's already beaten Donaire, so you know, we saw that was a great fight. So I wouldn't have minded seeing that again, that rematch. But to be honest with you, I just don't think anyone would have any interest in Rigondeaux anymore, because performing like that on such a big stage, I'm sorry, like it's not gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it, and fans want to see it. All that good boxing and stuff. That's okay. That's great, but it's gotta be. There's gotta be some kind of action there in a fight as well. It's gotta be entertaining of some sort. I get boxing is about the sweet science. And it's about hitting and not getting hit. Yes, we get that, but it's also got to be a bit entertaining as well. Not a guy going from side to side, landing a few counters, landing a few punches here and there. That's not, you know, that's not real. That's not boxing for me. You know, that's a guy just going in there trying to nick a round. Rigondeaux was trying to nick rounds yesterday. He was trying to go from side to side, land one or two shots and nick a round because he doesn't want to engage. It wasn't a great watch. I don't think Casimero was great either, to be honest with you. I think obviously Rigondeaux didn't allow him to do what he wanted to do, but obviously I think Casimero could have cut off the ring better. There's a lot of things, but I always knew Casimero would struggle with Rigo's style because everyone struggles with it. It's just a guy, you know, very, very defensively minded. He doesn't want to engage. He comes there to basically nick rounds. That's what he's doing. He's looking to nick rounds, and it was terrible. It was terrible. And unfortunately for Rigo, as much as I have backed him over the years and as much as I think he's a great fighter, he's just not a fan-friendly fighter. And I don't even think he's a great fighter anymore. I think he's regressed to the point where he's not what he used to be. His output's not the same. And you know, unfortunately, I just don't think anybody's going to want you on. You know, there's a reason where guys like Carl Frampton and Scott Quigg, even though they weren't as naturally as talented fighters as Rigondeaux, but and even Nito Donaire for that, he beat Nito, didn't he? So this is what I'm trying to say, that he was his biggest problem. His style was his biggest problem because his style was one which the TV companies didn't like, and they've given him numerous opportunities, to be honest. They have. Look, they gave him the Lomachenko fight, which was terrible. Then they gave him this fight, and this was really bad. You know, this was an opportunity for Rigondeaux to really impress and batter Casimero. Look, show him that there's levels, but he didn't do it. He didn't do it. Now, I always knew that Rigo's old now, but the fact is, if you're old, it's difficult for you to move like that. But he was still moving, and, you know, rather than engaging and sitting down on his punches, who knows, if he had sat down on his punches, he might have been able to hurt Casimero. But he just didn't want to know, man. That was a really bad watch. Really bad watch. I appreciate the sweet science and the hitting and not getting hit. And when the Manny Pacquiao fans criticize Mayweather, I always stand up for Mayweather because I think Mayweather's style wasn't as boring as what people made it out to be, you know. But this was dreadful. This was not very good. And I think that's it for Rigo, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to see him again, if I'm honest. I'd be very surprised if Rigondeaux gets another opportunity. I don't think so, because I think he's very old. Secondly, you know, he's just lost. And who's going to want to fight him after watching that? Because they're going to think he's going to make us look bad. He's going to run around the ring. Yeah, so no one's going to want to fight him after that. And I think there's the guys in the division, there's more lucrative fights out there for them. So Inoue, Casimero a bigger fight. Inoue, Daenerys, a rematch, a big fight. Would Daenerys really want to revenge the loss against Rigondeaux? Probably not. Because Nonito Daenerys, like I said, isn't as gifted as Rigondeaux. But he's had a way better career. Because Nonito Daenerys is an exciting fighter. You know, he's an exciting fighter. And like I said, Rigondeaux beat Daenerys. But the problem is, Nonito's gone on to have a way better career. Why? Because Nonito Daenerys is an exciting fighter, a fighter that people like to see, a fighter that people like to watch. Unfortunately, Rigondeaux isn't. And yesterday, Rigondeaux has only himself to blame. Firstly, he didn't just like, if he had fought that way and won, fair enough, he's still out there because he won the fight. He fought that way and lost. So now you've got nowhere to go, because now you didn't just fight a boring fight, but you lost the fight. So now nobody is going to care about Rigondeaux because he lost the fight. So he doesn't have any belt, right? Which he didn't have coming into the fight, but now he doesn't have any belt, and he was terrible on TV. The TV companies look at that and think, oh, that was terrible. So Rigondeaux really has nowhere to go now. And then on top of that, we know that he's not young. So where does Rigo go? You guys, you know, tell me where you think he goes. But yeah, that was bad. That was bad, guys. Let me know what you thought about it. I think that might be it for Rigondeaux, if I'm honest with you. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. It was a terrible fight. But what can you do? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys, and let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.